Not muted. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Life Rewinded. Cat Lady. Jonathan. Doodle. Mystic. Happy Halloween. Cynthia. Oh, let me pin. I'm going to pin in case anyone wants to join the winner circle. Tomorrow night. It'll be tomorrow. Hey, Dory. Marie Duffy. Hey, Scott Black. Good morning. Hey, Nanya. Good. Yeah. Yesterday was, excuse me. Hey, Rosebud. Pretty dreary here, but it got kind of better as the day went on. I may hear a little thunder, but it could be our 35th birthday. Oh, enjoy it. Happy birthday. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. That's it. Good morning, Pammy B. Yes, Halloween is back. Hey, Kimberly Jerome. Come here, Randy. Hugs back, Jonathan. I saw that you put you put hazelnut and cinnamon in your coffee. I use what am I using right now? Italian something. East Wing today, Dory. East Wing. Yeah. Italian sweet cream. That's what it is. Hey, Infidel Lady. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Yes, hit that thumbs up for my self-esteem to get me through this day. It's gonna be a doozy. I got a lot to do. Good morning, Lavina. Good morning. It is good, Scott. I wish it wasn't. Are you Italian too? No, I'm not Italian. I just like Italian cream. People say that I have an Italian look. I've had that. They've said it all my life, but Irish. Hey, Melly D. Hey, crafts. My love of crafts. I have a craft I'm gonna do. My love of crafts, and it's where you make these ornaments out of light bulbs. You put the snow in there and this little Santa Claus. I may become a rambler. I don't know. That was a joke. That was a joke. Hi, Lavender Sunday. Good morning. So what a weekend, huh? First Halloween to Baby Duck. Yeah, there was a party Friday night. No. It was Saturday night. Hey, thank you so much, Infidel Lady. So appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Cheyenne. I've seen them. Please do a video. I'll try. I'm going to try. Rambler Randy. Will I be accepted? We don't know. It's not looking good. Saturday night, Tim's family has a Halloween party every year, and so Duck got to wear his Halloween costume, and Diane got the costume like months ago, and he's almost too short. I mean, too tall for it. But he's a raccoon, and we painted his little nose, and we put whiskers on him, which we don't even know. I think a raccoon has whiskers, but it didn't matter. We still put him on there. He was so cute, and he knew it. He knew he was cute. My boy Jake Paul. Well, I wanted Jake to lose just to get humbled, but I think he got humbled. I don't think that he needed my help at all because that was a good fight. It was a really good fight. They went all 8 rounds. I was at the edge of my chair the whole time, and I think it was like 11 o'clock when it started, and just every single punch meant something. It was such a good fight. All the fights leading up to it, except for Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike fought. He's a YouTuber. It was okay. It was pretty good, but all the other fights kind of sucked, in my opinion. And usually I love all the fights before all the undercard. Good morning, Sandy Law. All the undercard fights I love, but I didn't like these. They were boring to me, but that fight was good. But see, here in the middle of, hey Angie J, good morning. In the middle of the fight, I don't know if everyone knows, and I don't even know if I should talk about this or not. Hey, cool gamer. I got a text, and it said, well, I was mixed up on the text, but we all remember, no, Midwestern Mary, that she had uploaded a video of me, and I was like, wait, what? Because y'all know she passed away, and so I went on her page. Hey, gentleman Jack, good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Halloween. So I go on her page, and there's my face. Now, listen, I realize for her friends, seeing Mary up there would have shook them. I understand. Seeing my face up there really shook me because I'm like, what the hell? So I got mad at first. I'm like, is this real? What's going on? There's that little piece of you, right, Pammy B? Well, I wasn't subscribed to Mary. And hey, you don't know me. But just going over there and seeing it, and then seeing my face on there. And of course it was that Reface app thing, and I couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't believe it. But I did reach out, and they didn't mean to upload that video. I'm not sure what happened, but the video of my face got taken down. Murder trial, watch it on Delphi News Conference. What about Delphi, y'all? You go, Kimberly. I was shook too. I know, Infidel Lady. It was her husband, and he did apologize to me for uploading my face. Which apology accepted. However he wants to grieve, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what he's going through. I can't imagine what her friends on here are going through. I know. Yeah, he apologized. The Delphi is going to be on pretty soon, Gentleman Jack. Listen, I didn't know, and I'm in a Delphi group on Facebook, but I didn't know that one of the little girls had recorded him. And something about that, I was like, can you imagine, these little girls are so young, and one of them had the wherewithal to, yes, Lavender. Hi, Peggy K. Good morning. Video there at the end, just in case something happened, the fear she had to be going through. And then I read an article, and it said that they had a soundbite of him saying, so smart, Gentleman Jack, yes. A soundbite of him saying, girls to the right, or something like that. That's not verbatim. So they have his voice, and then they had that grainy image that we've seen this whole time. And they finally have the guy. And so I have a text this morning that told about the pictures, which I saw the pictures of this guy's daughter down the hill. Yeah. This guy's, was it his daughter? It seems like there was more than one kid laying on the railroad tracks. Let me make sure. Anyway, so down the hill, I really hope this is him. Me too, Pammy B. Me too. I'd say they have some concrete evidence to go ahead and arrest him. The guy looked so much older. I don't know, Life Rewinded. Couldn't tell. That photo is so grainy. Oh, did she? I didn't know Plunder was still around. I unsubscribed after, I guess it was the Chris Watts case. His daughter looks like Libby, his target. Sick man. Ugh. It's been 5 years. Her senior pic was, oh, that's weird. You don't know me. That's weird. Let today be the day. Amen, the cat. Oh, can you stream the press conference or will you get a strike? I don't know. Is it about to come on? Is it going to be? I don't know. She cammed up. Who did? Plunder? Is that what you're talking about? Is it going to be on Law and Crime? Let's see what they say. See if it says. Wait, I'm sure y'all are telling me when I can't. Everyone's streaming it now. He lost a lot of weight after the video came out. Oh, Plunder. Okay, so I'm going to see. I bet Law and Crime has it. I'll have to look up Plunder. Surely I'll get a notification. Oh my goodness. I do have a lot of notifications that people are streaming it. You leaving, Cynthia? Are you leaving now? Y'all notice Cynthia's pictures, me and her. That's when we met. Everyone keep Cynthia in your prayers. Today, I don't know if she wants me to. We didn't discuss whether or not I can mention it, but Cynthia's having surgery today. So please keep her in your prayers. You're going to be fine. You're going to get through it. WFLA. Okay.
Only the killer would know, and they wanted to make sure to keep that confined. So when this day did come, that if they conducted a interview and that person talked about those details, they had that corroborating evidence that wasn't released to the public.
Here's another thing about this story is, as it's now 5+ years later, were found the day after they went missing on the Monon High Bridge. Their cause of death has never been put out, as I understand it. Their actual, what actually led to their death, has never been released. And of course, Jennifer, that is also due in part to not releasing sensitive information that only the killer would know, correct?
Exactly. Those are details they're keeping close to the vest. I expect today we're going to get.
Wait a minute, I have to pull up my chat because I can't see it when I share. But wrong one, Randy. Wrong one. That's right. They never have shared how they died. Can you imagine what the wife and daughter also going? No, I can't. Yeah, everybody's streaming it. My goodness. Y'all, we all kind of got involved around. Involved is not really the right word, but got hooked on this case because This happened, if I might be wrong, but I think where close to where Katie lived. And so that's how we heard about it. I didn't even hear about it. I'm not sure who that is. So this right here, Jonathan, is the grainy picture that one of the girls took of the killer. That's been floating around for years now, and they finally think they've arrested the man that killed these two little girls.
Are you going to be able to join us after the press conference, kind of break it down?
Yes. Yes.
Terrific. Fantastic. Okay, let's get to your
I'm interested in this press conference.
HAB questions and comments before
how young they are.
After the press conference. You can also use, of course, hashtag #HeyJennifer for our FBI expert, Jennifer Coffindoffer, joining us from St. Augustine. Missy, at HeyJB, how could his wife not recognize him from the video and the voice? This is going to be an interesting question now because people that are within Richard Allen's circle.
Do y'all think that looks like him? Let me get two other unsolved murders that they know that. Oh, really? Lavender Sunday. Do y'all think that guy looks like the drawing?
As far as close friends and family members.
Well, two for sure, but Lavender Sunday, Jonathan just said more. Think 5 years ago, the first sketch looks like him.
They are going to be asked as to why they
seemed to me like he has a lamp.
Come forward, but if you ask somebody, why didn't you recognize him from the video? Why didn't you recognize the voice? Couldn't the immediate response from that person just be, didn't sound like him, didn't look like him? Isn't that something that they would naturally say, Jennifer?
Yeah, I think it's a big extrapolation to say that a family member or a close friend would necessarily recognize this individual's voice. Of course, we're also making the leap, although I think it's not a huge leap.
I have to say I haven't heard the voice.
This information would have been known to his family
Maybe they'll play it
friends.
this
And I
morning.
say that, of course, it's Delphi. It's a very small community. I think most people were very entrenched in this case.
Right, Infidel Lady. I think that is what gave me goosebumps. God bless her. I can't imagine the fear. Two friends hanging out. Is it? It ain't time yet. Okay. It's not time. Hey, Becky B. Okay. I think his wife knew and her conscience got to her. You think so? Recognize that picture even though it was blurry. Did he confess? No, Charlie, he hasn't confessed.
But he should have known it was this individual. Actually, there's a huge likeness of the bridge man to Ron Logan, to the FBI originally was a person of interest. They wrote a very long and explicit affidavit to have Ron Logan's property searched, and quite frankly, there's a huge look-alike scenario with the sketch as well as the video of the bridge man to Ron Logan. So I think a lot of people who live there, felt he could be a possible.
Now that Logan is what I've heard this whole time. Okay, here it goes.
Shifted to Keegan Klein, and I know we're getting ready for the conference.
Okay, this will serve as your 2-minute warning. 2 minutes again. One last time, please silence your cell phones. And again, at the conclusion, Sergeants Tony Slocum and Sergeant Glenn Fifield will be passing out the press release that we're going to be issuing. So
here we go.
We'll be looking for you. Please look for them as well. So 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
This is a press conference. I don't even think that we can begin to describe how anticipated this press conference is, and we have multiple cameras in the room, including this one that is showing some of the reversal shots right now. Just how many people have gathered into this auditorium, this press room or this media room where this is actually taking place. So we have multiple cameras in this room to take it to this press conference. Jennifer, your final thoughts before we finally get answers in this case, answers that Delphi has waited 5+ years.
Oh, we're gonna get answers. Thank y'all. I'm so glad y'all told me. Hey, Tyler. Oh, thank for someone else is streaming this.
Well, I think it's going to be imperative that law enforcement has very direct evidence pertaining to this suspect and
inside this room. And that's why you're seeing the signal cut out a little bit. I have multiple feeds up here from the Stream Center, and both of them are beginning to show signs of cutting out because there might not be enough bandwidth in such a relatively small town in Indiana for this press conference to actually feed out from all of these different press agencies. It speaks to how high profile this case.
Today is the day. Hey, Shauna, good morning.
Podcasts, live streamers here on YouTube and other social media platforms who have, of course, been following this extraordinarily closely. And this is it live. Let's listen in.
Here we go. See how confident they are.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sergeant Jeremy Pierce.
Oh, I didn't know there was an echo.
Indiana State Police Lafayette Post.
I'll go get my headphones.
I'd like to thank you all for being here and thank the Delphi United Methodist Church for allowing us to use their facility. This morning we're going to provide an update on the investigation into the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce you our speakers, Superintendent of the Indiana State Police, Doug Carter, the Carroll County Sheriff, Tobe Lesenby, and the Carroll County Prosecutor, Nick McClelland. I'd like to remind everyone that this continues to be an active and ongoing investigation. At the conclusion of this press conference, we are going to answer a limited amount of questions out of respect to the investigation and the process that will follow today. We will not discuss evidence as related to this investigation. On behalf of the Delphi Double Homicide Task Force, thank you all for your continued support. I would now like to introduce to you our first speaker, Superintendent of the Indiana State Police, Doug Carter. Give me just a second here. Seldom do I have prepared remarks, but today is different because I do not want there to be any confusion or ambiguity with what I will say. Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi, two counts of murder.
That should be better. Sound.
You know, I always have a personal perspective, and today's no different. But from a very personal perspective, you all have provided inspiration and support, even while oftentimes frustrated with us and me. You continue to encourage the efforts, and you too believe that one day we would all be here participating and sharing this news. To the entire law enforcement community, which includes all local, state, and federal agencies, which are far too many to specifically mention today, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to continue a very methodical and committed approach to ensure that if any other person
had any involvement in these murders in any way, that person or persons will be held accountable. Since the murders of Abby and Libby 2,086 days ago, the daily investigative team has worked tirelessly and is certainly worthy of mention today. Specifically, Sheriff Linsonby, Sheriff of Carroll County, Detectives Tony Liggett, Detective retired Kevin Hammond, former Delphi Chief and now the prosecutor's investigator Steve Mullins, State Police First Sergeant Jerry Holman, Detectives Jay Harper, Dave Vito, and Brian Harshman, along with members of the United States Marshal Service, specifically Agent Jeremy Clinton and Agent Bill Culfers. With them today is Dan McClain, U.S. Marshal, appointed U.S. Marshal. Our state police analyst, our scientist from many different disciplines within our laboratory division, Mrs. Kathy Shank.
Come on.
For your incredible dedication to detail and to so many others that I know I've missed. I really believe that Abby and Libby would be proud of you for standing strong, even in the face of immense pressure and perpetual criticism. Some of these individuals have postponed retirement, passed on promotional opportunity, have dedicated personal time away from their families, given up nights, weekends, and holidays, all while in the pursuit of accountability for Abby and Libby. I know that today's announcement will not diminish your resolve, and I hope you have found just a bit of peace in this most complicated world. This is really important. While I know you are all expecting final details today concerning this arrest, today is not that day. Today's not that day. This investigation is far from complete, and we will not jeopardize its integrity by releasing or discussing documents or information before the appropriate time. Prosecutor Nick McClelland, of course, will share additional information about what we can and cannot say, and also explain to you why the probable cause affidavit is temporarily sealed by the court and not available. And by the way, he has been a tremendous asset to this team.
We want to, was there a
I'm
confession?
yet again asking you for your patience and please your understanding while our system of due process works. Also remember that all persons arrested are presumed innocent. All persons arrested are presumed innocent. You all will have an innate desire to subjectively interpret and then report what you think. We in the law enforcement realm cannot, and you should never allow us to, talk about what we think concerning facts.
And that's not me phrasing that, that's them. Come on.
At the right time, what it is we know. The time will come when additional details can be released. But again, today is not that in our plan. The prosecutor has been very clear with law enforcement about what his expectations are, about what can and cannot be released, shared, or discussed. So we will, of course, comply. If you choose to be critical of our silence, be critical of me, not the front line. These are the folks that have committed their entire lives to a successful conclusion. In other words, a guilty verdict. As we move to the next phase of this investigation, I will continue to offer all resources that the ISP has to not only the investigative team, I anticipate growing, but also to Prosecutor McClellan as we prepare for the coming months. Again, Nick has been very resolute and very clear, and I'm most grateful for his leadership. And it's going to be really important as we move forward. Please continue offering tips that you would like to share. The many avenues to report will remain open and will be available to all. Please continue doing that. In closing, I stand before you in this church and very place where we held our first briefing nearly 6 years ago, and just hours after the murders of Abby and Libby. Right here. Pulling in today, I wasn't really sure what emotion I would experience. But peace came over me. And I didn't expect that to happen. And I hope all of you, with all the different responsibilities you have from around the planet today, have felt some of that as well. But remember, we're not done. I think what we all have experienced proves that together there's nothing we cannot do. But more importantly, giving of ourselves, all of us, giving of ourselves matters more than what we could ever receive. Abby and Libby, knowing that, have had a profound effect on so many of us, on how we live, and as importantly, who we all should be. I would now like to introduce to you my friend and the Carroll County Sheriff, Tom Ledgeby, for his remarks. Sure.
I believe in a God of justice and righteousness. Today, I believe that same God has provided us with justice for Abby and Libby. As Sheriff of Carroll County, Indiana, I want to publicly and sincerely thank each individual who played a role in helping us during this 5.5 years.
He sounds pretty confident they have the right person.
Whether it was in an investigative capacity, providing tips, cards or letters of suggestions or encouragement, phone calls, and thousands of other countless ways of communicating. I earnestly thank those who prayed for this moment in time. We now move forward through the Indiana criminal justice system, allowing the system to provide its due diligence and process in providing that justice which is owed Abby and Libby, their families, in this community. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Nicholas McClellan. I'm the Carroll County Prosecutor. And before we get started, I want to reiterate some of the things that Sheriff Lesenby and Superintendent Carter stated. I first want to thank both of them. They've been a great support to my office throughout this investigation. They've always been there for a phone call and always been willing to help a hand or a line of assistance to me and my office during this investigation. I want to thank the team behind me. This is the Homicide Task Force team that we've put together. Thank them and thank their families for being so understanding for the many nights they've worked away from their families, away from their children. There are many dates in a lifetime that you're going to remember. The date your children are born, the date you're married, the date you buy a first house, the date Abby and Libby went missing. One of those dates was last Friday, October 28, 2022. At that time, we had gathered evidence to formulate a PC that we submitted to the court, and the judge did find probable cause for an arrest of Richard Allen. He's been charged with 2 counts of murder for the murder of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. This investigation is still very ongoing. We're keeping the tip line open, the tip email open. We encourage everybody to continue to call in tips, not only about Richard Allen, but about any other person that you may have. For that reason, and for the nature of this case, the probable cause and the charging information has been sealed by the court. I've been very clear to everybody that per the court order, we cannot talk about the evidence that's in the probable cause or the evidence that's in the charging information. That will become evident to you at some point and it'll be released, but right now is not that day. Today is about Abby and Libby, focusing on them. Mr. Allen has had his initial hearing. He's entered a preliminary plea of not guilty. The matter's been set for a pre-trial on January 13th at 9 a.m., 2023, and a trial date of March 20th, 2023 at 9 a.m. He is presumed innocent. We will have I want to open up to a few limited questions from the audience. But again, keep in mind, we are not going to talk about the evidence that we have in this case or about the charging information. We cannot. Those things have been sealed by the court. And so I want to open up a few questions. Again, that's part of the investigation, so I'm not going to talk about those things. What I can say is that we have probable cause established by the, again, that gets into the evidence we have in the investigation. And I know from everybody, it's frustrating. I know everybody, not only reporters, but the family, everybody wants to know more information. I understand it's frustrating, but.
Well, the family should get to know.
Maintain the integrity of this case.
Yes, Pammy B.
Again, I appreciate the question, but we're getting into the timeline of events, and today's not the time to do that.
We've heard this name in the past, though, right? Hey, and his opinion.
It was a very personal moment for me, and I think it was a very personal moment for them, for all of us that have had interaction with the family. We developed a relationship that I think is going to last at least one lifetime, and maybe a second. So it was a very, very, very sad yet a very humbling experience.
This all comes together, Texas, the combination of all three things that led us to this day, one or the other.
Eventually, you'll be able to see what led us to this day. Again, today is not that day. To include the reward, you mentioned that, Raphael, about the reward itself. And again,
I thought so,
very
Rebecca.
premature for us to talk about that. There's still a tremendous amount of work to do. I think probably resilience and understanding the value of each and every day. That today was the day that
Same, Tyler.
they ever thought today would be their day. And
Oh,
I feel like
missed
I've known
it.
for a long time.
It's been 5 years. I don't know.
Excuse me?
We haven't closed the door on the investigation. And so that's why we keep the tip line and the tip email open. And so we're not presuming anything at this point, but we're going to continue to take tips, continue to take any information anybody has. And as we've done with all the information we've gathered, we're going to look at that and examine that and see where it leads us.
Boy, he looks like he ain't got much sleep, huh? Right, Lavender.
Sure, sure. Sure, it is unusual. We don't do it very often. In all the cases that we handle here in Carroll County. We did it in this case because the investigation is still open. And while all cases are important, the nature of this case has some extra important to seal those records. There will be a public hearing on whether or not those records are going to remain sealed or not. There'll be public notice for that hearing so that everyone can attend, but there will be a hearing to determine whether or not they're going to stay sealed. But for now, to me, it's about protecting the integrity of this case. I want to have an opportunity at some point to have an opportunity in court to explain the evidence, and for that not to be tarnished or tainted or anything like that. Again, he's presumed innocent. And so it was important for me in this case to do that. Hold on just a minute. We're not going to comment on that right now. It's part of the investigation. Again, we just encourage everybody to continue to call in tips if they have them about anybody, and we'll examine those tips.
You know, he's afraid to say much of anything.
That's a hard question to answer. It's a mixed emotions. I've been watching the news all weekend like everybody else has, and I think a lot of the members of the public
right, Kat.
Right. It's bittersweet. It's a step in the right direction. It's
Believe it or not, that's not my shitty Wi-Fi doing that. The cop searched the
signal
river.
Difficulty from Delphi, Indiana, folks. Post press conference coverage coming your way on WFLA Now as we try to maintain a signal from Indiana.
So
concerning that he's a local guy.
I think so, Stitching Girl.
Different emotions.
Yeah.
Again, this is a step in the right direction. This is the first step into getting into court and having a trial. And so.
Breaking news.
So they're done.
Here is JV Buno.
Murder charges filed in the deaths of Libby German and Abby Williams. But how police went from 5 years of searching to finally making an arrest on Friday, still shrouded in.
They've murder charges, so they've arrested him. So it's they must have some pretty good evidence.
Mystery. And as investigators release few details on the apprehending of 50-year-old Richard Allen. Hey there, folks. JB here with you live on WFLA Now. I always keep it straight with our audience here on WFLA Now. I had a list of 14 questions that I wanted answered in this press conference, and 0 for 14 as far as the details that we got here. Actually, no. I mean, 1 out of 14, because one of the questions I had here was the charges that are being filed, and we do have murder charges being filed here against 50-year-old Richard Allen, again, apprehended and arrested on Friday, as you just heard from members of the media asking in that Q&A session.
You think so, Tyler?
Q&A session, just down.
I'm thinking he does now.
From police in the community, where, of course, Libby and Abby called home for the 13 and 14 years of their respective lives. It's
babies.
I know that there's a lot of frustration in the comment section, and you heard before, during, and after Richard Allen's name being mentioned here in this press conference that there was going to be just heavy amounts of apologies being put forth by law enforcement officials saying that we can't release this. This has been sealed.
I think that my gut instinct says they have the right guy. Well, thank you, Shauna. Yeah, thumbs up, please. My gut instinct is the same. I think that's why they're being so closed mouth. They don't want to lose what they have. They don't want to lose this. And I like that. I like that. I mean, I want to hear their evidence, but I don't want them to screw anything up.
This is still open of an investigation. Today is not a day to celebrate. Today is not that day, according to Doug Carter, the superintendent there with ISP, and saying today is not that day, and that today's not that day for answers, which is, I would
Someone
imagine,
in the comment
very
section
frustrating,
said that
extremely disappointing
they're
for
digging
folks in
up,
Delphi.
digging his fire pit. Now I wonder why, because it's been 5 years. I hope DNA, Rosebud. I hope it's DNA. That's what I'm hoping. If the usual tragedy pimp head to Indiana, I say we saddle up to stop him. I agree.
In that auditorium, they were there for the press conference to get
Me too, Shauna.
some answers, something that they could walk out of there and
No
say,
criminal record.
okay, this is what our hardworking men and women of law enforcement have been doing to find the person responsible for killing a 13 and 14-year-old who went on just, a walk like any two teenagers would, any two best friends would. And I would be very curious to know right now as to those community members who have been part of the search, who were part of the search efforts, who have done the interviews, who have been talking about this for 5+ years, what they would have to say. We now have another live feed coming up here. This is, I believe, from outside of that auditorium. We'll pay attention to the live feeds, and I'm going to bring in Jennifer Coffendoffer again here momentarily as we again break this down. But I'm going to ask our audience really quickly on YouTube Live for their. You can use hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyJennifer as we bring Jennifer back in. And Jennifer, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say in relation to this press conference. A press conference where, of course, we have.
I was just thinking that, Tyler.
Not really very much information announced at all. But I want to hear from our audience here. You can use hashtag HeyJB or hashtag HeyJennifer. What did you guys think of the press conference where they did, of course, announce the arrest of Richard Allen? But that was about it, Jennifer. There wasn't too much else, even though on Friday the arrests were reported. Saturday, Sunday, really the entirety of Halloween weekend, people in Indiana, people across the country are talking about finally there being an arrest in this case. And looking forward to this big Monday press conference that, police officials had, saying, hey, join us on Monday. We will be able to finally talk about how we got to this point, or at least, or so that's maybe how we read into it. But we get to Monday, we get to 10 a.m. The press conference starts, around on time. And we didn't get all that much in this press conference, Jennifer.
Well, JB, we didn't get squat. We didn't get anything other than the charges levied. So in terms of the investigation and how they got to this probable cause conclusion leading to his arrest, we got zero. And, they want to maintain the integrity of this prosecution. I understand that they don't want this tried in the media. With the huge social media following and mainstream media following of this case, they're concerned about this. But keep in mind, the prosecution filed these motions to seal, and a judge, at least for the time being, has agreed that it's important that this affidavit and that all the documents and evidence in support of the affidavit concerning his prosecution be sealed. And until that...
What I'm sitting here thinking is this guy was 45 years old when he did it. If he is for sure the one, and he murdered those little girls and then went home to his daughter, who is around the same age. Piece of shit.
Judge makes a different decision. We're not going to see anything.
We have this comment coming in from Liv, and we're going to get to a lot of we're getting a ton of hashtag HeyJB and Jennifer comments and questions coming in. But let's just start with this one because Liv is right here. Hashtag HeyJB. I think we should respect it. They are doing it for a reason. And of course, that reason being to not compromise the legal process. And it could be a lengthy legal process now. Also, too, we don't know the strength of the evidence. So let me ask you this question now, Jennifer. Considering the fact that this is we got basically a nothing burger on this as far as information to go by on this arrest. Does that give us any inkling whatsoever as to the strength of the evidence that they have, the strength of?
So looking at this picture, he's definitely lost weight, but they said that this guy has lost weight in the past few years. So
their case. I mean, you had Doug Carter opening
it's
up
hard to tell
there
right
with
there, though.
with at what times felt a lot almost like it almost
Happy
felt
Halloween,
as
Carlos.
much like a sermon than it did
There
a
was,
police
Charlie. I
press
saw it.
conference. It was a very interesting way. It was 10 minutes of opening up and really not talking all that much about the case, but talking about the community and the people who have tirelessly put in the work. He even went as far to thank the media, members of the media who have worked tirelessly covering this story. So as far as us getting to this point and not having any information put out, of course, we should respect it. The process is ongoing, but there's a lot of people scratching their heads right now as to why a press conference was called to begin with.
I do think that one favors him.
I think you make a great point. Look, if I were the prosecutor, or we're on the side, or we're part of this,
I don't know where they got that out of this, though. I don't know. Hey, Melanie. Solitary in prison as the other cellmates will likely get him. I think I would have known if it was my husband too. I don't.
Team, and we had great physical evidence or DNA evidence supporting this arrest. I would think that nugget would be dropped. We don't necessarily know there was DNA. Remember, they kept that concealed from the public. But JB, announcing one nugget in terms of what they have, generally speaking, I don't understand how that would compromise an investigation.
There was obviously a strategy, Jennifer, that went into this beforehand. They had the entirety of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to discuss what they would be able to discuss at the press conference. And I would imagine it had to have been a relatively short conversation, because they're laying everything out there and then saying, nope, this is off table, can't talk about this, can't talk about this. So we get to the press conference and they're apologizing before they even make the announcement of the arrest. I just think that I've covered countless police press conferences in my time. Jennifer has watched.
It seems like
a gajillion of
if
them.
your husband had a fanny pack, because the guy in that video has a fanny pack. If your husband has a fanny pack, you're gonna know. My husband doesn't have a fanny pack. Oh, they will, Charlie. They're gonna. His wife and kids is done for. Honestly, it's sad, but it's all right. So there. Let's look at this. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just sitting here looking at it, but I can see it. But the hair is definitely gone. He's lost weight since this picture. I don't know. Pocket money. I'm gonna get off of here, and but y'all, we will definitely keep watching this stuff and looking it up because I want to know more about this. We definitely want to keep an eye on this case, because we've been invested for a few years now. You see the resemblance. I know you do, Splinter. Me too, but then I don't. So those poor babies, I just can't imagine. And I hope he gets the death penalty. That I want to have so many questions for the wife. Randy, watch your old videos. Hey, Momo. What do you mean, Stitching Girl? About this case? You said, see, I do too. I don't know. Watch my old videos. What does that mean? That drawing looks like Justin Timberlake. It's the hair. That's why, Shauna. It's the hair. That That's definitely different hair. I'm waiting for Stitch and Credit. Okay, I'm gonna go. If you're not the circle where we're all the same, refresh your mind what you talked about. Oh, okay, Stitchy Girl, gotcha. Yeah, you're right. Become one. We're gonna have a Google Meet probably tomorrow night. We also have an awesome Discord where we just hang out and chit chat and all that stuff. Y'all have a great day. If anything pops off though, I'll come back live if I'm around. I don't know if I will be or not. So we shall definitely see. I appreciate y'all more than you'll ever know, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.